he released a tweet after, I believe it was the firing of Brian Flores from Miami, but it may have been after the firing of David Culley with the Houston Texans that put us down to one black head coach in the entire National Football League, that being Mike Tomlin, of course, with the Steelers. And Mike Silver said there is systemic racism in the National Football League, and he didn't stop there. He said, and there are real racists in positions of power. So what do you do? Because that was your question. What do you do when you have real racists in positions of power in a league that is systemically racist? How do you possibly punch through that particular glass ceiling? I mean, it's not even glass. It's that substance from the Marvel movies. What is that? Adamitum,
vibranium,
whatever that's called.
the vibranium. Oh, adamantium.
Oh, the vibranium we're going with. Oh, yeah.
Adamantium.
I was going with whatever Wolverine was made out of.
Yeah, adamantium. Yes.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. I'm not a big comics person in that regard, but the point
I only
is,
know those two.
when you have systemic racism and when you have real racists in position of power, you need a plan with teeth. So the first thing, how do you change this? First, you need a commissioner who's willing to actually stand up to ownership. You don't have that in Roger Goodell, and as long as you don't have that, I don't see change coming. So let's pretend you get a new commissioner in with a spine. This is my 3-point plan, because I've been thinking about this all weekend. First and foremost, you've got the Rooney Rule, which just compels ownership. It's so embarrassing that they've even had the Rooney Rule, because all it is saying, hey, you white country club billionaire guy who owns a team, you actually have to sit down with a person of color. You actually have to sit down with women candidates, because we know that you wouldn't unless we didn't have a rule that compelled you to do it. So the existence of the Rooney Rule is, to me, a terrible condemnation about that systemic racism and about the fact that you have racists in position of power. So you don't get rid of it. A lot of people are like, get rid of the Rooney Rule, it doesn't work. My argument is give the Rooney Rule some teeth. If a franchise owner violates the Rooney Rule, Jerry Jones, don't give them some fine that they could find in the cushions of their couch. Take away a first-round draft pick. See how long it lasts then. Take away a first-round draft pick for violating the Rooney Rule. Second, create set-asides for coordinator positions where you have people of color in assistant and coordinator positions on the sidelines, so you even further increase the hiring pool. Now, anybody out there who says, well, wait a minute, what about merit? Isn't that like a set-aside or a quota? I would answer, look how many children of coaches are on the sideline in the National Football League. I mean, my goodness. I mean, they're 20-something years old, and they're armed only with peach fuzz and an attitude, and they treat their job as if it's a family heirloom handed to them instead of something that they earned. I mean, so as long as you have this incredible culture of set-asides and free and easy jobs for the children of coaches, have set-asides for people of color in coordinator positions. And then the last thing, and then I'll stop talking because I know I've been filibustering here, but this is something that it's been exploding in my brain all weekend, is when this racism takes place, and it takes place like a metronome every single year when you've got the hiring process and this window of embarrassing hiring takes place, stop asking Mike Tomlin and Tony Dungy for comment. We need a culture that goes straight, not just to franchise owners, but to white coaches. I mean, you're supposed to be part of this fraternity where we're all, blah, blah, blah. It's like, go to them and say, how does it feel to live in the equivalent of a restricted country club when it comes to your job? So let's turn up the heat on the people who should be answering the questions. I think if we do those three things, we at the very least have a better chance at progress than we currently have.